Hello and welcome to Cutter Farms. We're here today looking at a new map by Louisiana Mapping. This is South Louisiana. This released a couple of days ago, and I'll have a link in the description. This is a PC only map, and it's got a number of very unique features in the map currently, and a lot of things planned to come, which we'll talk about as we go through the review. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at things. Before we hop into a farm tour, let's take a quick look at the mini map. This does appear to be a standard size map. There are a number of different size fields here, ranging from somewhat small to, we've got some solid medium-sized fields here. We'll do a little bit of a flyby on some of these fields here as we go through, but definitely a map where you could get some small to medium equipment, some good use here, and a few fields up here in the northern part of the map where some larger equipment wouldn't feel completely out of place. If you start on new farmer mode, we do have a nice starting farm, which we're going to take a look at. Lots of cool things here and several fields in the surrounding area. And as you can see, all the fields are sectioned off to be bought individually. And if you desire, you can buy the middle section of the map. I know a lot of people like to do that for snow plowing and being able to customize their farm entrances and things like that. So you are able to buy the center of the map. We've got a ton of fill points and such here. This is a co-op area. We've got a bunch of different sell points, some different production areas here on the map, a dairy, a bakery. You've got carpentry and sawmill. So all the kind of custom FS22 things seem to be on the map here. We've got a sugar mill available as well. This is Louisiana, so I think that everything is set up to be able to do sugar cane, sugar beets, that kind of stuff with the sugar mill. We've got a biogas plant and such over here, an animal dealer. And so we've got everything set up here to be able to do pretty much everything that you'd want to do in Farm Sim 22, with a few exceptions. At least at present, there is no cotton sell point on the map yet. So that'd be one thing that you wouldn't be able to do in its current state. However, we do have a number of other things available here. We have corn drying implemented on the map, and we also have some other things that are in various states of being implemented. I think steak may actually be on the map right now. You have a meat processing. It looks like there's some seaweed fish type stuff being added. Crude oil is something that I think is still in development. There is a oil well on the map, but we do have propane for the corn dryer and anhydrous added to this map. You will need to have mods to work with those kinds of things, but they're on the map, which is a cool starting point. I know a lot of people like myself like using those kinds of things. If we jump into the game here and take a quick look at the starting farm, this is the only fully built out farm on the map. So if you're going to use this for multiplayer, the other farms will need to build their own farmyards. But let's go ahead and take a look at all the features that are on this map. First off, we've got this silo system here. It does have a built-in corn dryer and a propane fill point here. And then back behind the silos, we actually have a greenhouse here. So you're going to be able to do greenhouse crops. I do have to say, one of the things that I'm enjoying a lot about this map is there are a lot of custom buildings and things that have been added to this map. And my understanding is Louisiana Modding has been spending a lot of time in Blender to build out a number of custom buildings for use on his map, which is pretty cool. If we come over here, you can see we've got some starting equipment, storage shed here, and I went right by it, but we've got a liquid storage silo over here for fertilizer with a pasture for the cows here. It is capable of doing dairy with the dairy tanks in there. And then we have the automatic feed system from the base game added in here, which is going to be really handy if you want to maximize your cow production. On the side of the shed, we've also got beehives already installed on the farm, some additional outdoor storage, some bins all set up here. I think we even start with a little bit of sorghum here in the bins. And then at the other end of the farm here, we do have a pigsty area, so you're able to do both cows and pigs on this farm. Outdoor pig areas are not as common up in the northern part of the Midwest where I'm at. However, I can imagine in Louisiana this would definitely be a thing. I haven't done a lot of exploration of farming in the South, so this is something that I'll definitely be interested in trying out when I get to playing on this map. And then I'm going to jump out here to the kind of crossroads here, and we're going to take a look at this field right behind our house because there's some really cool custom functionality back here. As you can see, there's what appears to be a small lake back here, but that's because we've turned on this pump here. If I turn this off, this is actually a grass field. However, this is being set up with my understanding to do rice at some point here. So we've got irrigation to fill these fields, flood these fields out with water, and be able to, at some point in the future, not right now, but rice is going to be coming to Farm Sim 22 if Louisiana modding can get everything worked out. And you can see the pipes and the irrigation here to all of these fields. I strongly suspect that you're going to be able to do rice in this entire back portion of the map here, which would be really cool. That'd be something unique that I haven't seen in other versions of Farm Sim. I know rice might have been a thing before, but this looks like it's going to be really well done. And so you've got pumps here on each of the different fields in order to flood those out. And yeah, I can't wait to see this working in the future. So that is one thing to be aware of with this map, is that there are a number of things that Louisiana Modding appears to have in mind and he's working on that aren't necessarily at a stage where they're fully implemented in game yet. But I can't wait to see where he takes things with this map. If we head back in towards the main road from the farm here, you can see we've got a divided highway system here. And I like this. It looks really cool. Kind of gives you a good way to get to the north and south parts of the map. You've got a co-op here. I believe I mentioned earlier, but we have anhydrous on the map. So your anhydrous fill point is here, as well as the bulk fill points for all your other types of seed, lime, fertilizers, fuel, etc. I think you can also buy liquid manure as well as solid manure here for various reasons. These may also be sell points. I'm not sure. I haven't had a chance to test this out in detail yet. This was a map that kind of popped up in my feed that wasn't sent to me, and so I'm kind of exploring this and figuring it out as we go here. We do have a gas station here and a number of nicely shaped fields and such here back off of the main road. You also have your propane sell point here. And I will say one of the things I love is that he's using real US brands, places that you would actually see in real life. And so we'll see a lot more of those as we go through the map. And then way back on the east side of the map here, we have the sugar mill as well as the BGA all set up here. And so this map is really got something for everybody. Depending on what you want to do, there's going to be a little bit of everything available for you. And I mentioned before the crude oil in the menu, and so I do see that we've got an oil well here. It doesn't look like it's got any triggers on it just now. However, I think this is something that he may be putting in place for later, a future version of the map, and so that's very exciting to see as well. If we just kind of follow these back roads back up towards the I guess main road here, you can see that we've got a number of businesses and such here along the main road. This would be our main grain selling point. This is the primary selling point for just about everything on the map. And then we've got a number of small businesses here on this end of the map, a dairy, as well as some places for doing the cloth and other production chain type sell points. And so these are cool little additions to the map. They do feel just a smidge out of place, kind of out here on their own. However, it's funny, the area that I live in Michigan, we've actually got one of these like little strip mall type things that's on the edge of a rural town, but the town's actually kind of back out of the way where you can't see it. And so it looks out of place to have this strip mall right on a main highway and nothing else around it. but I'm just highlighting that I've actually seen that near me, so that's kind of interesting. We have back here, I thought this was really cool. We've got this little John Deere A just sitting here spinning in the display here. I think this would be our main shop area. We've got a repair point workshop type trigger here, the sell point here, just some nice buildings and such. So really big yard for purchasing equipment. I'm guessing everything's going to spawn here between the cones. And up here is the part of the map where we've got some larger fields. If you do want to get into a little bit larger scale farming, that is definitely an option that's available for you. As I mentioned, we also have a slaughterhouse here on the map, and so this is where you're going to be able to turn those cows into steaks, I believe. We've also got the lumber mill here. Lots of good sounds, maybe just a smidge loud here. So we're going to go ahead and move on. The last little thing that I kind of skipped over in the beginning is it looks like we've got a little bit of a dirt racetrack. I know there's a number of people out there that like to do different things with their farm sim game. And so it was kind of fun to see a dirt track built in here alongside the road. I know Louisiana Mapping is still working on this map, and so it's not what I would call a 100% done and finished. It'd be awesome to see some like bleachers or something set up here, and maybe a few additional just field driveways and stuff on the map at some point. But I have to say, the detail on this map, it has been really amazing to see, you know, so much effort put into things, so many custom buildings and things on this map. Absolutely digging it. And this is the animal yard, and I thought I would show off that we've got animated cows moving around inside of the animal sell point. It's the small details like this that are just a nice touch when you pull up to an area that you expect to have animals that aren't yours walking around, moving, having them be animated. It looks good. I really enjoy this part, so I wanted to make sure we showed that off. With that, I think we've covered everything in the map here that I've come across. Like I said, this is a map that is still being developed. There's a lot of features planned for the future, but in its current state, it looks like a lot of fun. I'm actually tempted to run a series on this map. Let me know what you think of this map in the description below. And that's all for today. Kadirk out.